Okay, so how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Um, I observed you and thought you did really well, but there's
Thank
some
you.
things that we'll be going over here.
Okay.
And the first thing that I did want to talk to you about was the behavior, which we had spoken about in the pre-observation.
Yes.
Uh, do you think that the behavior problems affected the teaching and learning that day?
I do. I think that if I didn't have as many behavior issues that I have this year, I think that the lesson would have went a lot smoother than it
Yeah.
did.
I noticed that you had them separated. The one boy was sitting over here, the other child there, and you had to keep going back and forth. You had to keep reminding them to sit,
Stay
stand,
separated.
behave.
Yeah.
So it was a problem. I thought it was also. One suggestion that I would like to make was that I think you need a classroom aide of some type
That would be amazing.
to be here with you.
Yes.
To help you with those behavior problems while you are tending to the other children that are paying attention.
Yes.
Although I think they were paying attention, the children with the behavior issues. They were paying attention only if they were called on, because everyone was going up to the smart board. So if they were involved, but they have to give someone else a chance, of course.
Yes.
They can't control the whole lesson. But I'm going to make that suggestion to administration and see if you can, if there can be some kind of a solution to the problem in here.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to say about that?
As of now, we're testing 2 of them. So I think that hopefully we'll find a resolution
Yeah.
and we'll be able to get them the help necessary.
There were 4
Yes.
different things going on.
Yes.
Excuse me, a fly, sorry. Okay. Oh, anyway, okay, let's move on to the next. So we can go back to that and a few things I might want to say about some suggestions that I have. But
Okay.
let's go on to, did you feel that the lesson was rushed? I thought that it was at a fast pace because of you having to go back and forth with the behavior, or was this the type of thing where on the smart board you go back and forth with one up, one down, one up, one down? Is that your pattern normally? One child goes up, one child comes down. It's like at a fast pace.
I usually take turns because they all like to get a turn on the smart board. And I wanted to make sure, I didn't want any of them to get upset. I have a lot of criers this year, so I tried to make sure that they all had a chance, especially since I had you in the room. I didn't want any of them breaking down or getting upset that they didn't have a chance, so I tried to fit everybody in to get up on the smart board for that lesson.
And I noticed that you had a little cup with names in it.
Yes.
How did that work? How was that share taking?
In order to be
plan?
fair, when I call on them in September, they all made their own stick with their name on it, and they decorated it themselves. I put it in a cup, and when I call on someone, to be fair, I pick out of the cup. And then if I call their name, I'll leave it out. I'll leave their stick out until everyone has gotten a chance to answer a question or go up on the board.
Okay. That's good. That's very good. That's a good plan for the behavior plan.
Yeah, they seem to like it, especially if they get upset that they haven't gone up. I remind them that their name is still in the cup, that they'll get a chance to wait patiently.
Right. So some sort of. Well, what you have over here, you have another behavior chart.
Yes.
Do you mind just explaining how that works?
It's a kind of like a stoplight system. We have green, yellow, orange, and red. Green is what they start on at the beginning of the day. I remind them every day that it's their choice to stay on green or move depending if they follow the rules, follow direction. And I usually give a verbal warning when they're not doing something that they're supposed to. And after that, if they're not following the rules, they move to yellow. Yellow is 5 minutes out of recess. If they move to orange, that's 10 minutes. If they move to red, they get all of free choice and recess out, and I call home. or
Okay.
send a note home. But they also have a chance each period to move their color back up if they're showing great behavior.
That's good. Well, that's good. Gives them a chance to regroup.
Yes.
So I noticed that you might have used that 2 or 3 times during, and no one was offended or got upset because
If I
they had
change
to
your
do
color,
that.
yeah.
They change your color. I thought one child might be upset, but then I suppose because you give them a chance to go back and regroup, that's a good. It's a good plan. Very good.
I think that helps.
Yes, it does. And it gives them a chance to go back to and behave and gain their recess back or
Yes.
whatever it is you're taking away. Okay. Let me see something. Um, okay. So as far as more questions, I thought maybe they weren't not that when the words came up and then you discussed the words, it was very quick. Like I thought maybe one more question about the word. That's all. Even though the
Okay.
word, like one more question, you might say one of the words in the book, and then it was quick, and then they sat back down. Just maybe one more question in there
Okay.
about that word. Just a suggestion, which otherwise it was a great lesson. Just slow the pace up a little bit, and maybe in conjunction with the aid in here, you might be able to have more calm
Yes.
for yourself,
Sure.
less stress. And also, I suggested, and I'm going to suggest one other thing is, instead of everyone sitting on the carpet, maybe they can in their seats. You can explain to me if that's not appropriate for the lesson, but sitting on the carpet for a fun lesson, and then maybe when it's serious, the serious lesson, they could sit in their seat instead of being on top of each other. And
Yeah.
what do you think about that? What do you think?
I think I could try that and see if it works. Most of the time when I sit them on the carpet by the smartboard, it's mostly for the kids that sit in the back that can't see. So I like to have everybody up close. But I will try that and see. Maybe it'll work.
Yeah.
And that's a good suggestion.
Yeah, or the children in the back, you could just move them up, move the. I know that's
Yeah.
kind of it's kind of difficult, but if we have some help, it could be done, and alleviates a lot of issues when they're not on top of each other.
Yeah.
And one comes up, one comes down. You have to keep tending to the behaviors. That's my suggestion for you for next time. I noticed that you had good questioning and text techniques and discussing techniques while you were reading the book, but then we did that last. Let's see over here. Let's see something. Actually, it's on this report. Okay. You know what I did, girls? Amazing. Can we shut this off for 1